Hi, my name is Irvin Barham with Connect Financial Ministries. In this video, we're going to help you complete the asset and liability statement, sometimes known as a debt list. Why is this important? Once you've completed the form, you and your coach will have a pretty good idea of where you stand financially. This form simply gives you a snapshot of your finances at a given point in time. And yes, we know it can be a little painful, but the first step in becoming debt-free is to find out where you are now. And just so you know, my wife and I have been there, and we are now debt-free, and you can be too. It just doesn't happen overnight. Let's get started. You can either follow along or you can watch the video and then come back to it. Open up a web browser and type in the address. I've done that already, so we'll just type connectsource.org, and that takes us to the opening page. We'll go down to the Resources tab and click there, and then scroll down to the Assets and Liabilities form under the Personal Financial Statement. We'll open this up with Microsoft Excel, give that a minute, and now you may see a yellow warning tab up at the top, and you'll need to click that to enable editing to let the computer know it's okay to do this, and the second one may be to enable the content. Both of those are okay. Once you've done that, then the next thing you're going to want to do is to save a copy on your hard drive. The procedure for this will vary depending on whether you're using Windows 7, Vista, XP, Windows 8, a Mac, or something totally unique. I happen to be using Windows 7, so to do that I would go out and click on the File tab at the top, do File, Save As, and save it out to a folder that I labeled Personal Finances. You can choose another name if you wish. All right, ready to get started? Let's go. You're capturing two different types of information. The first is a list of assets or things that you own, and we capture those in the worksheet with the green tab labeled Financial Statements. So we'll click here, and you'll notice that a list of assets opens up. The second is a list of liabilities, also known as debts or everything that you owe, and that's found on the worksheet with the red tab. Let me say up front that it's very important to be honest with yourself, your coach, and ultimately with God about the information that goes into the form. God is already aware of where you are even before you start, so there's no point in trying to hide information, and your coach can't help you if you withhold information from them. Now on to the form. Let's begin by clicking back on the green tab, the financial statement, and let's go over that. Begin by typing your name by clicking in the box, and I will type my name. Hit the tab key and it will move down to the date. We're going to do this as of August the 1st. It happens to fill in the date, and this information can be found using the information on your last statement. So by pressing the tab key now, we've moved on to the cash on hand checking account. Hint, if you're married, it's a good idea to do this together with your spouse. So if I have $500 in my checkbook and $25 in my wallet, and my spouse has $25 in her wallet, we would put down $550 here. So we'll go ahead and type that in. Hit the tab key. And it's also a good idea to save this file periodically, so if you ever have to leave this and come back to it, you won't lose any data. Now, go out, gather up all your statements from your retirement accounts to your savings accounts to your checking account, and begin putting the list in the appropriate category. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by going through every category, but I do want to point out a couple of potential items that could create some questions. First, if you'll notice down here in the Automobile 1 category, I suggest you go to a resource for Kelley Blue Book, kbb.com, or Edmunds, that's edmunds.com. Both of those are great resources for helping you estimate the value of your autos. There are others, but these are two that I'm familiar with. Let's look at the furniture category. Most of us don't get appraisals on what we have in our house, so you're just going to have to estimate. It may also take a little bit of discussion with you and your spouse, if you're married, to arrive at what that's worth. For this purpose, I'm going to put down $1,000. Yours may be worth more or less than that. Hit the Tab key. Same principle applies to coins and collectibles and antiques. You may just have to estimate, although if you went to sell them, an appraisal might be necessary. Finally, if you're owed money by anyone, you would put the principal balance here. So let's say that I've loaned my neighbor $500, so I would put down that he owes me $500, the principal balance. When you've completed all the categories, you should have a pretty good idea of your assets. Let's take a look at a completed statement. Now let's move to the red tab, or the debt list. You'll notice that your name, right here, and the date has carried over from the asset list. To make this easier for you, we've broken the form down into various categories: credit cards, housing, automobile, personal debt, business, retirement plan loans, etc. It would be helpful to have all of your statements in front of you when completing this section. Let's complete a couple of sections, shall we? We'll list some credit cards here first. The first one is today's bank credit card. Our monthly payment is $100. That's what we've been paying. The balance is $5,000. The interest rate is, ouch, 22.5%. And the payment is due on the 15th of the month. We're current on this one, so if we had it, we would fill out something here, but we'll move on. Let's go to the housing section. First Urban Lenders. Our payment amount is $800. Our balance is $100,000. And our interest rate is 5%. The payment is due on the 1st of the month, and unfortunately we are 1 month behind on this one, so we're going to fill in 1 here to let our coach know that we need to really pay attention to this. While you are busy filling out the amounts you owe, let's click back on the Financial Statement Green tab just for a second, and you'll notice that if we scroll down, that the amounts that we just typed into our liability sections have carried over from the red tab. It gives us a completed financial picture. Now, you may be asking yourself, what are we going to do with this information once it's completed? As we mentioned at the start, having this information gives you a picture of where you are. But just like this snapshot, you don't have to remain here. If one of your goals was to get out of debt, then having this information will help you determine if there are assets that you can sell to pay off some or all of that debt. Are you upside down on your car? Having this information will help you to focus as you put together a debt reduction plan. You may now be feeling better or worse than you thought you would, but take heart. There is help, and Connect Financial Ministries wants to help, either through the resources located on our resource page or by connecting you to one of our coaches. To connect with a coach, simply click on the Request a Coach tab from the main page. Once you've completed a financial statement, the next step will be to track your spending so that you know exactly where every penny is being spent. But that's a subject of another video. And now for the legal disclaimer. The preceding video should not be construed as giving investment, legal, tax, or any other type of advice of a professional nature. Please consult a tax or financial professional for your personal situation. Thank you for taking the time to watch. You can visit Connect Financial Ministries at connectsource.org.